Next Live, man.
Shout out Up Next Live.
Shout out Up Next Live.
Gang, it's the big step of the well-known flexer here with Up Next Live.
What's up, world? It's Up Next Live with your girl, Brittany Elise. I got my sister, DJ MK, kicking it with me tonight.
What's up, world?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
And we got a special guest for all of you. It's long overdue. Give it up for our girl, Des Gray. Right. You know, I don't got the equipment, so I just got to use.
She got it.
No, this is definitely exciting for us to do this interview with you, especially now because a lot has happened now. Just to give people a backstory how we met you, we actually met you out in LA during the BET Awards. You know, some parts of that night I don't remember.
There was a fashion show, there were shots.
I think we ended up at some food place at one point.
We went somewhere else. Yeah, it was Sweetness. Sweetness connected us.
Right,
Yeah,
Sweetness connected, and we was running them streets with me, you, Sweetness. I think we ran the streets the whole weekend, to be honest.
I remember there was a lot of Uber rides, and that's kind of how the vibe was.
I was so drunk too. I don't even remember what happened.
But you know what's funny? It's like we met on good energy, and then it put us in a realm to like follow you and watch you grow in your craft from there, and then really understand what you do. So that's what we want to talk about today, because there's just so many interesting parts to you from your story. Now, you're originally from Haiti, right?
Correct.
And when I was doing my research on you, I was like, wow, she's from Haiti, and you tell a story about where you never seen a television until you were about 14, 15 years old.
Correct.
So now to fast forward to today, and it's like all your work is on the television. It's like, what sparked that inspiration for you when you were so young?
Well, what sparked that inspiration for me when I was young is just like, you know, growing up in Haiti and just growing up in the streets of Haiti and not having access to, you know, a television. Is a third world country. So, you know, I play with my imagination a lot, you know, growing up as a child, because I didn't have access to like toys and, you know, what you know, games, what kids have access to in America, you know. I never had access to that. So my imagination was all I had access to. And that's where I started creating these illusions in my head. And I just always know, like, hey, one day, you know, I want to be the person behind the TV.
That's super. I mean, did you read a lot of books? Like, is that how you like grew your imagination if you didn't have like a television, or you just got inspiration from just your like just
so like in Haiti, when you know, it's no in between. Like, it's either you poor or you rich, right? So it's no middle class. Either you poor or you rich. So I was poor. And it being poor, you know, a lot of the houses in Haiti, you know, the people that have access to television, you will see these lights coming through their gates, right? Or the windows, you know. So being a kid, I used to just peek through the gates, and I'm just like, wow, like these houses are so nice. Like, look at these lights. Like, what is that? You know, because we didn't have no access to no lights or anything like that, you know. So, you know, just imagine like where, like if I go behind this gate, what am I gonna see? You know, like, and then just seeing like other kids, you know, that was more privileged than I was, like, you know, with their nice clothes, and, you know, I didn't have any shoes, so I was barefooted. So I would just start imagining myself in their position, and I started just dreaming and just start putting these different pieces of imagination in my head, and then just start creating stories of where I see myself. And that's exactly where I'm at now, exactly where I see myself years back.
Because it's like almost like you were manifesting as a child. This is like,
You
I
know,
would do this. And before you even knew what manifest the word probably meant, you was already doing it.
correct. And you know what's crazy? When I did my interview with Miami Times, and she was telling me, I was like, you know what? When I was about 19 years old, you know, I went to college, and then I went to college for theater, and I just started doing these things, and I started learning about directing. I'm like, oh my God, I've been preparing myself for this since I've been a kid, but I didn't know. I was just being a kid that was poor, you know. And just looking back to my life and just seeing that I don't even have time to watch television because I'm always filming production. You know, it's a blessing.
So where do you draw, I guess, your storyline inspiration from? Because if you don't watch TV, then you're pulling inspiration from, I'm assuming, everyday life, things you come across when you're in your daily path.
Yeah, so like the way I get inspired, honestly, is by being grounded with myself. You know, I'm one of those directors. I get inspired from my third eye being open. You know, so like when I'm grounded, I like to create illusion of what I see. I foreshadow. You know, I always foreshadow things in my life. So that's the way I get my creation. So if I'm not grounded and I'm not balanced, I can't create. And then sometimes too, I like to be out in nature. You know, I like to be out in nature. I like to be a part of the world, like a part of the universe. And being a part of the universe, that's how I inspire myself as a director.
I love that. I love that. I think if a lot more people took that in, like I always tell, if you ask MK, I'm always like, let's go camping, let's go to the woods, let's go here.
Check out for a minute.
Right. I just need to check out for a minute, but I do it because it allows me to like let go of everything else that's happening in the world and just be. And that's one of my favorite, like MK's from Montana, so it's one of my favorite reasons why to go to Montana, because it's like nothing but air, sky, and a lot of wheat. So from once you moved from Haiti to Miami, I did see where you went to school at Alabama. Was it Alabama State?
Right, Alabama State, yeah.
Alabama State, but then from there, you did a little stint here with us in Florida at Full Sail University. I was like, damn, okay. But you
passed through or whatever.
Right, she passed through or whatever. But you didn't stay. You ended up leaving out in your last semester. Why'd you make that decision? Did you just feel like you were ready, or it wasn't preparing you for what you really wanted to do?
Well, I made that decision to leave because I had ended up meeting. So when I was at Alabama State, I had got offered an internship at in New York at Sony Music at Jive Records.
Wow.
It was RCA. So working over there, you know, with Mark Pitts and a couple other people, I started going to BET 106 in Park a lot, and I ended up meeting Pat Charles. He was an executive producer there. So just over the years, I was keeping a relationship with him where, you know, I'll be working like as a coordinator for a lot of the BET Hip Hop Award shows and other shows. And I remember when he told me, like, if that's what you want to do, just go after it. And then it was 1 year in Atlanta. It was a BET Hip Hop Awards weekend. And I remember Akon, he was late coming to the show. And he was like, I need to find my seat. So the whole time, the way I guess it was the energy, you know, energy, recognized energy. The whole time he was at the show, like he left his seat and he started talking to me. And he, you know, we just had a conversation and everything. And he was like, you're not from Atlanta? I was like, no. He was like, you should move to Atlanta. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know nobody out here. I'm just out here, you know, for the show. And then he was like, well, it's going to be my birthday. You know, it was his birthday. I believe it was going to be the next following month. He was like, you should come out here and chill with me for my birthday. And he kept his word. We text each other. I came out to Atlanta for his birthday. And he would just introduce me to people. And he was like, yo, if this is what you want to do, Atlanta is the market for it. You know, and yeah, like listening to him and his, you know, his feedback, I ended up moving to Atlanta, not knowing nobody, and just took that risk. I'm a risk taker.
Definitely no, and I think for you, it seems like you've always been like an opportunity has come, but you always make the decision if that's going to be the one that's going to put you in the right path. And it seems like all your decision making has pretty much carried you to the right path along the way. But I think it all goes back to the little girl that was looking through the gate. For me, that's like the key piece to me, to your story, is the little girl that was looking through the gate. Because to me now, when I'm watching TV and I'm like, oh, she did that.
She just keep moving.
She did that one too. She did that one too. And then now you've also created your own company, Foreign Made Films. So what was your thought process behind that?
So Foreign Made Films, I created a production company, Foreign Made Film, because I'm a foreigner, you know, like, and honestly, when you think about it, we all foreigners.
Right.
So I came up with the name Foreign Made Films because I wanted everybody that I work with, it was a foreigner from another country. Regardless if you're from America, you're still from another country, so you're still a foreigner. So, and I wanted, when people watch my videos, I wanted them to see that it's an element from a foreigner connecting different foreigners together, and we creating this one foreign made it production. So it's foreign, a foreigner made this production.
I like that. I like that a lot. So with that production coming in, it seems as though you've been able to expand and give other people opportunities to live out their dreams as well. So not only are you doing your thing, but you also giving other people opportunities along the way. Now, you've worked with some of the top people in the industry, but what I also like about the people that you work with, it's not all the same. Like you've done some stuff with people from Nigeria, you've done some stuff from people from here, there, and then it almost ties into your whole theory of your four-made films.
Correct.
It all
She's
ties
touching everywhere, people. She's touching it all.
Correct. Because it's crazy because it's like I remember shooting a music video for this artist. His name Laclean. He's French. You know, he came down from France to shoot a music video with me, and the whole song was French. And it was just so amazing. Like, wow, like, you know, foreign made touch, you know, that market. Like, even like looking back, like I've been on CNN Africa, you know, I've been on Billboard. I've been on the Billboard in the UK. I've been like, my work been like global, you know, like, so even like with my fans, like when I go on live, like my fans are all over the world, you know. I just recently had the opportunity to direct a music video, you know, for Davido, you know, he's a big Nigerian artist. I've worked with Adekunle, you know, which is another big Nigerian artist. So it's like, you know, I've worked with artists from the UK. I love culture, you know, I'm a culture person, you know, so it's like at the end of the day, like to be a creative, you got to be able to connect with people all over the globe. And like I say, go back to me, I learned how to just become free and learn how to get creative concept by me being attached to the universe. And by me being attached to the universe is about me being attached to people globally.
So with saying that, because if you drive your inspiration from being tapped in with the universe, when the universe decided that we all was gonna sit down this last year, because that's what the universe told us. They was like, sit down. Right. When that happened for you, how did you pivot in the midst of all that? Like, did you continue building client rapport? Did you continue shooting? Right. Like, what did you decide to do?
Honestly, I'm gonna say I am very grateful and blessed that the universe shifted my company to more of a higher level when that happened. Wow. You know, like I never quarantined since the whole epidemic happens. Like I've been working like every day, and knock on wood, like I haven't even catched the COVID either. Like, you know, so I've been blessed enough to work and been hiring a lot of people, you know, working with me every day, you know, since the pandemic, and none of my employees like got sick. Like everything just been very like safe, COVID free zone. So I'm very blessed for that.
Yeah, I see some pictures on her IG. She definitely was masked up. I was like, okay, she's not playing no games.
She probably got hand sanitizer in her pocket. We do not play.
So important. I still practice that now. If I'm on set, look, you got to practice social distancing. That's so important because, like, at the end of the day, I don't want nobody to get sick, you know? Right. So you have to social distancing. That's so important. Like, social distancing. And then I'm always making sure that I have a COVID specialist on set. You know, anybody know any department, like we have different departments a part of the production, like each individual person have gloves. I give them hand sanitizers, like they get the spray. Like we don't play about that. Like, You
know, you definitely in this world that we're living in today is very different. I mean, from the things that we've seen happen pretty much for the last 4 years. I was gonna say 10 minutes ago. Right. But really 4 years have been different. But I mean, the world has definitely changed. You can't use the same microphone as somebody. You gotta wipe it down. I literally look at the mic and I'm like, wipe it down. I'm not playing. Bring your mic with you.
Go wipe it challenge real quick.
Right.
It's like you walk. Have you ever walked inside of the grocery store and you look around, you notice everybody have a face mask. We look like robots.
Right.
Listen,
And
we got other thoughts on that, but that's another conversation for another day.
we gonna hop into that.
But what's up next? What's up next with all that? What's up next? So we right here today.
What's up next? What's up next, guys, is movies. I'm actually like working. I just got done finishing my first feature film that I've been working on. I've been writing that for like 2 years. So I just completed that, and then I'm working on the animation too. So just want to go to that next level. You know, that's the main goal. You know, becoming that first, you know, female Haitian director, that little girl, you know, coming from the streets of Haiti and just paving the ways for the next kid in Haiti that didn't have access to the things that I didn't have access to become, you know, the great that they need to become for the country and other countries too. So movie for sure. What's up next?
That's crazy. And before there's probably gonna be one day a movie about you from the little girl Haiti to how we got here. I foresee that coming for sure. Self-directed.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna hit you up and be like, I see the premieres coming.
Right.
I wonder if I could
Listen, if you need a cast, then I'm sure I could do
I
something.
would be like, could I be an usher?
Right.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna hold you guys to that.
Now listen, with that going into the realm of movies, one of your people that you follow is Ava DuVernay, and you have people like Shonda Rhimes, who just always blows me away with like her concept of shows and things like that. How has the industry treated you as a woman in the industry, and what things have you had to overcome being a woman?
Ooh,
and not even a woman, but also a Black woman, because sometimes, you know, when it comes to being a Black woman, it's even harder because they're going to find a way to tell you that you can't do something.
Honestly, it's really hard, you know, being a Black woman in this entertainment industry, you know, especially owning a production company too. You know, sometimes I find myself like, you know, struggling with, you know, some of the people that I hire, or, you know, like a lot of times that, you know, others will get bigger situations than I do. And then, you know, they'll turn around and take my concepts and things like that. But that's just the industry. You just got to keep going. You know, you just got to keep going and know that like we are living in what we're living in, you know, and it's already programmed for us to be where we at, but it's up to you to make that change within you and around you. You know, you can't control society. The only person you can control is really yourself and your surroundings. So I never allowed that to break me down. Like, even though sometimes I find myself like, man, forget this. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is too hard. Like, why he getting this treatment and I'm not? And then I realized that I'm doing this not only for myself, but because that's what God wanted me to do. So he gonna always create my own way, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have people that follow you that want to do what you do. Like we have a friend who she came and was like, have you heard of Des Gray? And I'm like, well, I know Des Gray. And she's like, you know her? Like, she's just in awe of like your work, and she follows your work. So you're paving the way for people like that want to do it, and you're breaking the mold so that it becomes easier for the next little 14-year-old girl, the little girl that wants to direct.
So one thing I would say, like, any person that's up next, you know, of becoming a director or of becoming a producer, of becoming a creator, whatever you want to become, you just got to be willing to put the work in. You know, a lot of people think that it was given to me. It wasn't given to me. You know, I am working in the male dominant, you know, industry. So you got to be willing to like fight for it, you know, because a lot of times being a woman, you get overlooked, and you just can't let that discourage you. If you have a vision, know that your vision is your mission to make it happen. That's all I gotta say for my upcoming creators like myself.
You know, I think that's a powerful way to end on a note. Like, I got more questions, but you know, I'ma just call and text and be like, "Can you explain this to me, child?" Because I don't know what they're talking about.
But you know, we do this for the people.
Right.
You know, we do this for the people.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? You gotta do it because you love to do it. Like I tell creators that all the time. You gotta love to do it first. Like you can't worry. See, the thing with me is, as a director, I never worry about what the next director doing. And me, I work with a lot of different directors. Okay, I work with probably like some of the biggest directors right now, you know, and they respect me as also a director. Like you got to learn how to be a student. You know, if I'm working with like Edgar or Steve, like which he real big, I become a student, not listen. You know, if I'm working with Chris, the director, if I'm working with any other directors, like you got to learn how to take a step back and become a student. And I feel like a lot of creators don't know how to do that because they have too much egos. You know, I'm also one of the directors, like, if I write a treatment for a client and I feel like, man, I'm going to give this director an opportunity to shoot this treatment because I feel like he can bring it to life better than I can. It's not saying that I'm not good enough, but it's saying that, yo, like my idea is so dope. Let me see how somebody else will bring my idea to life.
But you understand what you do when you understand what they do, what he do.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. That's the main reason why I'm so successful at doing this, because like I'm so free and open-minded to working with other people. You know, because at the end of the day, it's not about me and it's not about them. It's about the art. And I feel like as long as people know that, then you're gonna continue to grow. You know.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely. I mean, you giving so many gems right now. And one thing I always tell people about gems.
Accent, you guys. Excuse my accent.
Look, everyone you gotta tell people about gems is that you're a creative director, a producer, a director, but that doesn't mean what you're saying does not transcend into other areas of the industry and outside the industry. And that's one of the reasons why we do things like this, is because we want to teach somebody else and hear it from somebody else's mouth that is successful and has been able to do it. And that's why we do that. And that's why today we was like, we need to give you your flowers. Your flowers is coming.
Thank you. And then, you know, another thing too, like recently, right, I was shooting a music video for Rollo Rodriguez with Lil Baby, and I remember Lil Baby called me. He was like, "Hey, Dez, like I want to, you know, we started working together." He was like, "Hey, Dez, like I want to start learning how to be a director." I'm like, "Okay, cool, that's dope. You know, like let's do it." So like even when we were shooting his artist video, you know, like he was on set directing the video. I allowed him to step in and did his thing, and it's like directed by Dez Gray and Lil Baby, you know, because it's like at the end of the day, like you have to be able to just be free. Like when you showing these artists that you care about their art and you are willing to teach them too, like you're gonna continue to be consistent with the job. Like people gonna love to like work, you know, with you. Like one of the things, like one of my key things when it comes to like production is about the experience. Like I want every artist or any clients that I work with, I want the experience to last so you can always come back.
Right. Right.
I mean, he probably got inspired from watching you direct his videos. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing his vision or bringing, you know what I'm saying, a vision to life for him. Like that's just mad inspiring, especially when you're like, man, she doing that shit, I could do it. You know what I mean? Like I could do it too. And y'all did it together and y'all already had kind of a synergy together already. Like that's a vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe.
That's super dope. Well, I want to thank you for pulling up on us today. You know, I know Atlanta is outside.
We need to pull up.
Orlando is outside. We outside.
Outside.
Yeah. Our two states is a different type of outside than what other people do. Sometimes I be like, they gonna take us to jail because we just doing too much.
Georgia and Florida right now, we are like our own country.
Right.
I love Orlando though. You guys are lit. I was actually in Orlando for Thanksgiving. I love Orlando.
Oh, next time, definitely let us know. We're gonna run you through the Beecham. I know you must know what the Beecham is since you were at Full Sail, so you got to at least know a little bit. But it be turned.
Yeah, it be
lit.
It be Atlanta turn. She doing it like she knows.
Yeah, Atlanta is open. Like we open. You know, Atlanta is lit too. Like everything is lit. Y'all let me know when y'all come to Atlanta.
For sure. We'll definitely let you know because I told her we need to pull up there within like the next month or so. I need to see some new scenery.
That part.
Yeah, Atlanta definitely have a lot of new clubs, a lot of new restaurants opening up. I'm like, wow, the pandemic and new locations are opening up.
Have you ever heard of the tiny house getaway?
Tiny house.
I feel like you would like that since you like nature, but it's like
It's in Georgia.
it's in Georgia in its own little tiny house situation. It has a bed, a bathroom, a shower, and then it gets a fire pit situation. It's like a trailer or a container home.
Yeah, I be seeing it online.
I think that's why I said I want to come back to Georgia next. But since you like nature, I was like, she probably would like that out there.
I love nature. Yeah, I love nature a lot actually.
So since don't nobody else want to go with me next time, I'm gonna be like, come on, you get your cab, I'm gonna get mine.
Hit me up. We
So
out.
scary to me. I have an imagination too. It just gets scary to me. You know what I'm saying?
You don't like nature?
I love in the daytime. I just don't want to.
Your imagination start running once the lights go down.
She's scared. You scared of the bus.
What's that
It's just
sound?
so dark, and it's just it could be cold. It's just a lot of variables to me. I don't know. It's just
Right. So I'm gonna call you. We're gonna get our cabins, and we're gonna be out there, and then we'll come back to the city and turn up with
I'll
you.
catch up with you later on.
I'm getting out my shell.
For sure. And keep us updated with whatever you got going on so that we can post it through all our social platforms.
Yeah, I got some videos dropping. I actually have a video dropping this Friday. I believe. I gotta check with Interscope, but Melly featuring 6 Black. I have that. And then Monday I have Rennie Rucci.
What happened?
Rennie Rucci, you've heard Rennie Rucci?
You?
Rennie, yeah, she's a yeah, y'all probably know her, but she
I'd be like if I saw her probably.
yeah, she signed to the same label as Baby, so she's dropping a video with Kevin Gates. I did for her on Monday, and then I got that Davido record that's gonna be dropping soon too. I got a lot of videos dropping. So
what's the time frame that it takes you to do a video? Like not from conception of the story that you created, storyline you created for it, to the time that it's actually done, not necessarily put out, but it's completed. Like, what's that time?
So, to create a video, you gotta go through the pre-production of it, you know, and then you gotta go through the production, and then you gotta go through post-production. So, first you gotta write the treatment, then you gotta submit a budget, and then once all the business gets handled, then you got to go on the pre-production of putting the whole, you know, production together. And then you got to go to production where you actually shoot it. And then you got to go to post-production when you actually edit it and just go back and forth with the client and making sure that they get the right cut that they need for the product.
So how long does all that take typically?
Typically it takes about 3 weeks.
Wow, that's actually it's faster than what I thought. I don't know. It just seems like
if you're doing CGI, it's gonna take longer. Like CGI or animation, that's gonna take like months.
I could imagine. Yeah, because that'd be a whole lot.
That's a different kind of budget from what I know.
That's stress right there. CGI videos is a whole different level. I love doing CGI though, but it's just I don't really like doing it as much if the client don't really have the budget to make it happen.
Right, and you're trying to figure out how to make it happen with what.
I ain't gonna figure out how to make it happen. It's either you got the money or you don't.
She said, no, I'm not figuring out nothing.
Oh God.
I'm pulling my hair. No, it's impossible to figure out CGI or VFX. It's like it's no way around it. Like it's too much work.
You know what she'd be good for? Our artist development series 104, 105, when we get to one of them, right? But only because we have a lot of creative directors in Orlando. We have a lot of videographers. We have a lot of. But I always feel like what I always see.
Here, you know?
But I always feel like what I see is like events for the artists, events for producers, but it's never an event for the creatives.
Yeah.
And I think having somebody like you like talk to them. And because we had one the other day where we talked about split sheets and how to register as ASCAP and BMI, like the real basics, but some of these people just had no clue about some of this information.
Mhm.
And I think there's gotta be people out there that have no clue on post-production, pre-production, CGI, budgets, how to get this, no, there's people out there that just don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like
I'm actually,
helpful.
matter of fact, of us saying that too, I'm actually about to do a raffle. I'm doing something special for the artists too. I've been getting a lot of requests from artists that want to work with me. And what you said too, like I'm definitely like in the work of doing that, because I do get a lot of requests from a lot of like, you know, artists and other inspiring directors or producers or, you know, photographers that want to work and don't know how to get started. Like I definitely, you know, I'm always open to helping people.
Yeah,
And a lot of people, and one thing I want to say to whoever's listening to this, like I know a lot of people do be reaching out to me in a DM, and sometimes like I be hella freaking busy. I'm not ignoring you at all. Like I don't ignore people. It's just I be having a lot going on. But please, like, send me a DM, and I promise you I'm gonna get back to you.
Right. She just being present
Right.
in her work, people. Just
I'm looking for creators right now.
be patient.
Look, and mine too, because my DMs, I'm getting back to you. I be running. I'm the same way. I don't be ignoring. It's just sometimes it's not enough hours in the day. It's just not.
At all.
But we all got the same 24, so what we get done in it is always positive.
Correct.
Well, no, we appreciate you for this, and I'll definitely get you over whatever footage and everything that we get from it. And thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so much.
Guys, and you guys are up next.
Hey, I'm gonna use that as the drop. Don't worry about it. Perfect. I'm gonna have to cut it and bring that forward.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
love.
you.
Have a good night.